Chris Stanley.
Well, hello everyone! Thanks so much for coming. We're gonna get underway with one of my favorite tricks. I really hope you guys like this one just as much as I do. It is known as the glass and bottle because it is done with a glass and a bottle. We're gonna get them to switch places. That's the trick. The bottle is gonna disappear from over here, but reappear there. The glass will disappear from there, reappear there. This will happen right in front of your eyes. Just don't blink or you'll miss it. So here we go. It's already done. It's done. The bottle is now right there, and that glass is now right there. But I also want to do the most difficult part of the trick. I want to get them to switch right back the way they started. Here we go. And we did that too. Yay. You guys are very easy to entertain. Of course, we can get them to switch just that fast. Now I know there are a lot of people that want to know how this trick works. Okay, I'm not supposed to tell you how it works. I mean, Magic does have a rule of code about secrets, but I'll tell you, I cheat. I use an extra bottle. That's it. So if you have an extra bottle, you can do this entire trick. I will cover the glass. That's just misdirection. I cover the bottle. Don't forget, you have to have an extra bottle. And that now means I have a glass right there and an extra bottle right there. That is how you do it. I lost some of you. Okay, we'll slow everything down. Let's use 1, 2. That way you can just follow along. Here we go. What happens is the glass will become the bottle. I flip the tube over so that I can get the bottle to become the glass. The glass becomes the bottle. I flip the tube over, then the bottle becomes the glass. And if you're wondering how I do it, I cheat. I use an extra bottle. That right there, that is the extra bottle. You know, I don't even like to use a glass. I only like the bottle. So there's a bottle, there's a bottle, there's a bottle, there's a bottle, there's a bottle. But there's a bottle, there's a bottle, there's a bottle, there's a bottle. And that's why we call this our glass and bottle trick. Right there. Oh, thanks. Thanks. I'm really glad you like that. That is the best thing I learned in prison, so yay. I want to borrow a $1 bill. See if I got a buck, I'll give it back. No one's looking. Did you guys get shaken down before you came into the theater? Is that what happened? Nobody's got it. I learned this with just $1. Anybody got a buck? I think I got one person looking in the back. All right, do we have $1? Oh, yeah. All right, I'll run. All right, in the back, I run to the back. All right. So then I was a little kid, I went to the school library. I picked up a book that taught me how to do origami with a $1 bill. To this very day, I can take a $1 bill and make it into like a frog that jumps, which is still really cool. But I got into magic whenever I was in college. There's a book that changed everything for me. This book with a little bit of magic, a little bit of origami, just some bizarre things. But this is his trick, where you take a $1 bill, you make it into 4 quarters. But this is what I mean. These are the 4 quarters of that $1 bill all the way around. That is 100% a real $1 bill. Oh, you dropped your cup. This is real. A lot of people think I cut it up, I glued it back together. I didn't. It's actually a solid piece. Some people think I printed it out, but this is U.S. legal tender, 100%. None of you actually believe it. Yeah. Who did I borrow from? Did I borrow from you? Yeah, check it out. They won't believe me. Maybe they'll believe you. Is that a real $1 bill? Yes or no?
Yes.
It is. Do you feel ripped off? Because you have been ripped off. You really have. Do you know what that's called? That is known as a felony. You don't know how relieved I am. Your fingerprints are now all over that bill. I don't want to go to jail over $1. I'm sure you don't either. So why don't we just go ahead and fix it? Do you have a 50? Well, we'll just use the $1 bill. The guy that invented this trick, his name is Harry Anderson. I first recognized who Harry Anderson was by watching Night Court. He played Judge Harold Stone, but he was also Cheers, Harry the Hat. Did several movies. It was his book I bought. He changed the way I do magic. So whenever I do the trick, I always like to say, thanks, Harry Anderson. What a great trick. And I also want to say thank you for letting me borrow that $1 bill. Dead silence. All right. Thanks. That right there, that's my favorite round of applause. It's like, big deal, do the bottles again. Yay! Let's do something absolutely silly. I want to tell a story. I want this story to have sound effects. That's where you guys come in. You guys can be as silly as you want. They're easy sound effects. We start with a dark and windy night. That's great. I love it. I like that we had wind out there. A lot of ghosts were floating around. Sounded perfect. Now I run to my car, I slam the door. And I slapped a couple of people around, and I just said slam. There we go. So I start the car, I floor it. We are definitely riding in a Ford. We had one versus speed, quickly died, didn't it?
So we now pull to a stop. I open up the car door. There are wild animals everywhere. I like that it's mostly dogs and the very popular Ozark monkey right there. Let's do it this way. We're surrounded by bears. Gummy bears is what we're surrounded by. So we're going to get through the woods. I pull out a machete. I start cutting down all the underbrush. Yep, I'm using a lightsaber with some of you out there. Then we find a house. I open up the door. You guys have scary doors at your house. This could be a scary house, though. Maybe it's haunted and there are ghosts everywhere. And it sounded like a ghost. The wind just picked back up too, didn't it? All right. So I go inside. They know that I'm going to do some magic. They want to give me something. And when you think of magic, what comes to your mind? Toilet paper. Yeah, that's right. So here we go. We're going to try to do a bit of magic with this piece of toilet paper. I'm going to just recap what happened. We got in my car. My car broke down. We went through the woods. There were monkeys and dogs and gummy bears everywhere. Then we found a house. And it was a very scary house. The reason why it was scary, though, because it sounded like they were just ghosts floating around everywhere. Yeah, be very impressed. This is two-ply. Yeah. And you can have that. That right there is my number 2 trick. Don't ask to see number 1. Moving on. All right, I'll give you a choice. Do you want to see a very, very hard trick? Do you want to try to do almost the impossible? Do you want to do another silly trick? What do you want to do? Impossible. All of them. Impossible. Okay. We're going to try to do all of them. We'll do the impossible one first. I'm going to go ahead and grab something. I actually brought along the number 1 selling toy of all time. Does anyone here know what that is? Slinky's a great guess. Newer than the Slinky, though. Came out in the 70s, but didn't come over to the United States until the 80s. We all had it by our trapper keepers. Yeah. It is. I'm showing you the Rubik's Cube, and you yell Pet Rock. That's what I love. It's the Rubik's Cube. The fun thing about this is how many different patterns you can put on it. Can anyone solve the Rubik's Cube that's here? Yeah? No? Okay. I solved it back in the 80s. How I did that was I pulled the stickers off, moved them all back around. But there are 43 quintillion different ways to solve this cube. Now, or to mix up the cube. Mix it up, and I'm just going to keep passing it around. The numbers that are on this cube of different ways you can solve it, 43 quintillion, that is 1 with 18 zeros behind it. You can also think of it this way. It is more than all the grains of sand on the earth. It is more than all the stars we can see in the sky at night. That number is slightly, just a little bit bigger than all the times I was told no when I asked girls out in high school. That's a big number. Now, we'll just keep getting some people to twist this up. Just keep twisting it up. We want to make sure that it's all mixed up. This was invented by a mathematician about spatial math. We're going to try to do a bit of math now. One thing I'm going to do first is try to solve this. Now, this is unique. This may never have ever existed ever, but it could have, well, wait, hold on. I've got an extra cube in there. I don't want you to think I'm cheating. May it never existed before, may it never exist again. I'm going to solve this in 10 seconds. Here we go. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ooh, I solved it. Yay! Hey, stop talking. Don't look at the bag. Yay, I did it. Okay, fine, I am cheating, fine. But here's the question. Why is this the only way that we think a cube can be solved? Sure, it looks pretty and all, but you know what? This is just, I guess, kind of what we determine is pretty. Like what we want to say online. This is what we want to look like to other people, like we got it all together. This is reality, though. This is everybody fighting in the car all the way home. That's what it's going to be whenever you're in Silver Dollar City. Yeah. But here's the thing. If we do this math-wise, if we average everybody together, we usually get pretty close to what answer we're looking for. For example, if I have jelly beans in a jar, we all guess how many are there. We average out how many people are guessing. We're within usually just a few jelly beans. And since we're going to try to do that with the Rubik's Cube, because I have brought along the average Rubik's Cube, that one right there. And if I can get one side to match your cube that you mixed up, that is 1 in almost 2 million chances. So there is the cube that's the average. This is the one you guys twisted up. How close did you get? Pretty good, right? But we're trying for the impossible, so let's go ahead and look. There's 2 sides, exactly the same. There are 3 sides cool. that match. We're going 4, exactly the same, the bottom. And you want almost impossible? This is 1 in 43 quintillion chances. That is more than all the grains of sand. Give them a round of applause. Everybody that's twisted up the cube. They did great.